Hey, I want to get your quick thoughts too on another topic. Brewers signed Andrew McCutchen, 1 year, $8.5 million. Probably is going to be their primary DH. What do you think of that?
I mean, I like it. The Brewers seem to be the only sports team in the state of Wisconsin that actually signs, veteran talent or is interested in it. They did it with the Moose a few years back, and that worked out really well. I mean, McCutcheon doesn't need to hit 40 home runs and 300. He needs to hit, 225, 240, 15, 20 homers, and he's added all the value that we could have ever wanted. I mean, I don't know why, the people go, oh, well, he's a washed up guy. He's a, shell of him for his former self. The dude is older. Like, you got to cut him some slack. He's not going to, go back to prime time McCutcheon, but if he can at least perform at 75% of that, then you're getting a great value.
Yeah, I can't believe it's going to be his 14th year in the majors. I mean, was I excited about the deal? Not really. I barely remember that he was still in the league.
I mean, I didn't
But
rush to buy tickets because of it.
no, but I guess, I mean,
Can't afford the
the
gas to
offense
get down there.
came down 3 cents, I think, today. So
Oh well,
making
then we can
progress.
almost get to the parking lot then.
And then paid $20 for
Oh
parking.
yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Well, it'll be 25 this year. They'll
we'll
offset.
park. We'll park 10 blocks away because Colin's driving.
Yeah, and we'll take the
Um,
$20 ticket for parking.
but I mean, the Brewers' offense last year had the fourth worst batting average in the major leagues at 233. Really, their offense is what killed them. I mean, they maybe had the best starting rotation in baseball. Teams made the postseason 4 straight years. This year, it's going to be the fifth. I'm pretty convinced of that with the expanded
Oh
postseason.
yeah, I mean, well,
So
without the help of a manager,
stop. That's a whole nother topic. We don't have an hour to
we'll
debate Craig
discuss that in the
Counsell.
next episode. Whether Craig
He's
Counsell is a great
great. Craig
manager,
Counsell's great.
he's
Not only
he's
because he's a
top five worst managers for me. But that's he neither here nor
stop. They're
there.
in their best stretch in franchise history, and
What, limping into
only
the
you can
playoffs every year? I don't consider
settle
best
down.
stretch.
Okay. Getting back to Andrew McCutchen, what I do like about him is he hits left-handed pitching really well, and that's something the Brewers have struggled with
That is true. Yeah.
last year and the last couple of years. I mean, um, last year he hit 293 with a 405 on base percentage and a 622 slugging percentage, and he was ranked 28th in baseball in OPS against left-handed pitching. So I mean,
Yeah, the
that
Brewers
really I
have
think is
that.
going yeah, that's going to be an added bonus. Plus, I mean, he can play still the outfield, so even though I doubt he'll play it a ton, just because they're loaded with Yelich, Kane, Hunter Renfroe, who they acquired
Well,
before the lockout,
I mean,
Taylor as well. I mean, they
the
don't need
odds of one of those players being injured at any point in time is like 100%. So
Lorenzo Kane probably first. Yeah.
yeah, and then Yelich. It's the
Uh, I,
average season, the default season. Yelich will have a back issue. Lorenzo Kane will have a calf or thigh issue. It's
I just did you see the Rockies signed Chris Bryant?
Yes, I did see that big deal too.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the contract. It was like 8 years,
It was like
seven
120. It wasn't like off the charts. I thought it was like 240
seven
million.
years, 7 years, 182
Oh,
million. I
182.
mean,
Okay.
okay, if the Rockies, who paid $50 million or whatever it was to give Nolan Arenado away to the Cardinals, and then can go sign Chris Bryant for 182 million. Don't tell me cheap Mark Antanasio, who's going to be begging the city for $100 million to quote unquote keep the team in Milwaukee. Um, Dude can afford to go pay Freddie Freeman right now too, because the Brewers haven't had a first baseman since Prince Fielder left a decade ago almost. So
Yeah, it's probably a
like,
decade.
what I mean, they're gonna have a revolving door. I mean, Tellez is gonna be starting there, and then when he fizzles out, they'll send him down and call up Keston Hira, and he'll strike out on every at bat, and they'll
He'll
call
be a
someone else
strikeout
up. Like,
looking too.
yeah, I like the McCutcheon. At least you added something. You didn't sit there and just watch everyone else sign a free agent. But
I
look at the
just
first baseman that's actually decently talented instead of trying to plug and play with these guys who aren't very good.
Yeah, we the batting position of the first baseman for the Brewers since Prince Fielder has probably worst in the MLB, I'm sure. Probably least number of homers at first base position, I'm sure, by a
I can,
mile.
I I think they've had a different starting first baseman every year on opening day.
Maybe they should re-sign Braun and put him at first.
Jeez, go get Eric Thames. Sure,
no, that's not true. Eric Thames was the last good first baseman they had because they had that one breakout year and then he fizzled out very quickly.
Yeah, but that's what happens. They had Chris Carter who hit like 45 bombs and hit 200. They got rid of him. Then they brought in Thames who had a good 1 year. Then they replaced him with someone else. And Tellez had some bright spots last year. He'll fizzle out this year. And I don't know. It's just.
Oh, that's what happens when you have a bad manager. I mean.
It's not the manager. It's the owner's cheap as heck. I mean, come on. Sign someone actually worth decent.
Well, he can barely afford to keep the Brewers in Milwaukee.
Sell the team to...
I mean, the other thing is, like, okay, maybe he is looking for $100 million, but it's like, it's not like, the state of Wisconsin is short on cash. Like, as if the governor of Milwaukee or the state wouldn't just fork over some... You've got Miller...
We can't. We have another $1 billion interstate project going on at the zoo interchange that they just redid 3 years ago.
We got, you have Miller literally across the street from, American Family Field, Miller Park. And then on top, I mean, you've got all kinds of massive businesses there. Like, you got all the, Clemens Sausage. I mean, you got all these, like, fantastic businesses that, want in, but you won't, we won't pay them enough or... and it's like you start stepping on enough feet, and now suddenly they don't care anymore and don't want to help invest.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it doesn't. I mean, they need to start. Well, the manager issue is another problem too. They need to hire an attractive manager.
They got the best manager in baseball. Only you and Colin. You and Colin and some delusional Brewer fans and the small minority think Council's a bad manager.
Dude,
the Brewers have never been to 4 straight postseasons.
That's sad in one term. But the Brewers.
That's not his fault.
Dan, aren't you sick of getting to the postseason by limping into the wild card and then blowing up in the wild card every single year while we watch Council just rub his neck raw?
So last year they lost to the Braves, won the World Series.
That's besides the point. Who cares that they won the World Series?
They lost to the Nationals in 19.
The Dodgers. They lost to go to the World Series.
They blew that series.
Council blew that series.
They've lost to the World Series champion every year in that 4-year stretch. I want to say. I'm trying to think of.
The only thing that the Brewers have had really good under Council is the pitching staff has been really, really good every year. Council has the worst bats. The batting average has been a joke.
Point. They're not. Third base has been a revolving door.
He can fire only so many batting coaches before he's got to get the job done.
A revolving door. They finally got a second baseman that's actually worth something. Finally have a shortstop worth something. Yelich has been down since his MVP year. Lorenzo Cain is almost in a wheelchair. He's
that's true.
They got Hunter Renfroe now this year, who I actually think is going to be good.
Yeah, but you got guys that can swing the bat, and
go and sign an impact bat like Freddie Freeman. This is your time to go for it because, again, they're starting pitching top to bottom.
I mean, Dan, you might as well submit your application for batting coach now for next year because I'm sure it'll be available. I mean, Council fires one every year and then blames that on it.
I would take a pay cut to do it.
It's not. You can only fire so many batting coaches before Council's got to go. I mean,
that would be a great story if they hired me. They would have 2 local people that grew up Brewer fans running the shit.
Yeah. One guy who's a delusional fan of the other one, and the other one who... Yeah, but Dan, you can almost assure that you'll be fired next year because Council fires them every year. It doesn't matter.
Just sign me to a 3-year deal and fire me after 3
That's
months.
what's going to happen. That's going to happen. I'm sick and tired of watching the Brewers score 1 run every game in the postseason, and Council does that little flinch where he's scratching the back of his neck or just massaging the front of his neck while he's looking up.
When they leave after,
what'd you say?
When they leave after 2030 or before 2030, whatever time it is, around 2030, you'll be wishing Craig Counsell was still the manager and they were going to.
They're leaving as a result of him.
No, they're not.
Okay, it's a lack of finances.
They're cheap.
But he's not exactly getting them World Series championships, is he?
This is a baseball town, and we get the cheapest owner in the sport, probably.
And the cheapest manager.
He's not cheap. He just bought a nice multi-million-dollar lake home in Lake Country.
Yeah, he probably had to take a loan out for the full lot.
He's a good guy. He supports UWM athletics.
You cannot hang your hat on a manager and be like, yeah, he's good. He's a really nice guy. That isn't going to get you champion.
I never saw Ken Maka or Ron Renicky at UWM athletic events. So. He supports winners in the community, too.
Council knows that he's got to do everything to look committed because he isn't to the Brewers.
Hey, if the Brewers do ever ask him to retire, he can always take over the UWM baseball program. So.
Yeah, and then they'll leave UWM in 5 years.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll see. Baseball's going to be starting up here in about a month or so. So we'll see if they make another move, though. They better.
Yeah, another 1 year deal for less than $10 million for another player who's been in the MLB for 25 years.
Yeah, is there a first baseman who's been retired for a year or two? I'm sure they'd probably bring him back for like 1 year, $4 million on a prove-it deal. Seems like what they always do.
None of it's guaranteed. Just to have him breathe air on the field.
Ugh.
Well, there's got to be somebody. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that can strike out looking every time. It shouldn't be that hard to find someone that can do that. I mean, at least with Rowdy, he would he's going to strike out looking, but at least he would hit a dinger every once in a while to keep things interesting.
He's a fun player, but
he's likable. I'll give him that for sure.
He can go be a fun player with Dan Vogelbach on the Pirates or something. I want Freddie Freeman at first base.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen because you think the owner's going to spend the $100 million to keep Milwaukee there, or is he going to get Freddie Freeman? I mean,
if he gets Freddie Freeman and wins the World Series, there's this $100 million and merchandise sales and everything else after the Brewers win a World Series. I'll contribute $100.
Just consider it your donation.
Jeez, what is this, UWM asking for more donation money?
Maybe they should move the Brewers to Green Bay.
Oh,
that city knows how to run a pro franchise.
Oh, because then we'll have some diva.
He should sell the Brewers to the public, just like the Packers. Sell it to Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee.
Great.
We can put the trolley straight into the stadium.
Easy access.
Perfect.
We'll have a grill on that trolley for.
Yeah, there you go. You get a free brat when you get a free brat with every ride.
Oh boy.
Well, and on that note,
before it got to the stadium.
What'd you say?
It'd break down before it even got to the stadium.
The tracks would cause a few motorcycle accidents, and that would be the end of it.
A car would run into it.
Boy! And on that bombshell, that's going to be the end of this stream. Thanks for listening.